Welcome to Rogers That Podcast. Your hosts for today's podcast are Galilea,
Jessica, and Sophia.
and today we have a great opportunity to interview Michael and Jessica DiResto, who are both traveling nurses. Welcome, Michael and Jessica DiResto. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. Our goal to help our viewers learn more about potential jobs and careers in our community. We really appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
Part one, background and professional questions. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are from?
Cool. Well, I'm Mike. This is Jessica. We're both from Danbury, Connecticut. We went to Rogers Park. We went to Danbury High School. And then I went to Ithaca College for 4 years.
I went to Syracuse University for 2 and finished at Cortland for the last 2.
Right.
And then afterwards, we both went to nursing school, an accelerated program that took about a year.
Yeah. So we have 2 bachelor's degrees. We did our 4-year undergrad at Ithaca and Cortland. And then afterwards, we didn't know exactly what we wanted to do, but we're like, hey, let's get into nursing. So nursing has this cool thing where you can get if you have a previous bachelor's degree, you can go into an accelerated program, so you can get a bachelor's of nursing in 12 months. So that's what Jessica and I both did. And then after we completed that, we've been working both as nurses for about 4 or 5 years now.
Can you describe your job as a traveling nurses?
So traveling nursing is essentially the same thing as nursing, except it's structured just a little differently. So we're hired by independent contracting agencies. And then through that, we are contracted out to hospitals that need supplemental staff. Usually these contracts are within 13 weeks at a time, and then you can choose to extend at a facility if they want you to stay there.
So we're not part of one hospital. We can go to different hospitals within the state. We can go across the nation if we wanted to. We could go to Hawaii or California if we wanted to. So we're not a solely part of one hospital. We're not even technically part of that hospital per se. We're just part of the agency.
How often do you travel for your job?
So full-time nursing is 3 12-hour shifts typically, and that's from a Saturday to a Saturday, which is the pay period. So right now we've been at Hartford Hospital. So 3 times a week roughly, we'll drive down there, and our shift is from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. So it's about an hour drive. We both live in Brookfield, Connecticut right now.
What hospitals have you worked at?
We've just done Hartford Hospital, which we've been at for probably almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
And then we were at Yale before that for 1 year, is where we started.
Yeah.
What is the difference between a nurse and a traveling nurse?
It's mostly what he said before. It's just the agency aspect where we're not we don't work exclusively for Hartford Hospital. We can work at different hospitals if we wanted to.
I think the biggest difference and why someone that is a nurse would want to look into travel nursing is the pay structure is different. So travel nurses are usually paid more than staff nurses. The benefits are different between the two. But, if you don't have anything tying you down, like a family or a house or et cetera, it is a good opportunity to make some more money and kind of be your own, not your own boss, but you kind of have more decisions in where you want to go and where you want to work.
You can travel and work. So if you wanted to, say you've been in Connecticut your whole life, but you've always wanted to travel to Arizona,
Right.
you can work in Arizona as a nurse, as a travel nurse for 13 weeks, and you don't like it, you can go to Utah for 13 weeks. Gives you a lot of opportunity and a lot of room to travel around the country,
Yeah.
but also working and making money. So.
What was your inspiration for deciding on a career in healthcare/nursing?
So I've always been interested in healthcare. My undergrad degree at Ithaca College was exercise science. I'm more of a pre-med track. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do when I graduated. And then my mom, unfortunately, had cancer. She's okay now, thank God. But, I just opened my eyes to more of care inside of a hospital and, how nurses really are able to give back to their patients and make a big difference. So that's when I started looking into the umbrella of nursing. And nursing is very cool in that there's a lot of different ways you can go about it once you become a nurse. So there is a good ceiling for growth within the career itself.
What education do you need to become a nurse?
Typically, you need a bachelor's degree, but you can also become a nurse in some facilities in some states with an associate's degree. And if you get hired by a hospital with an associate's degree, they might help pay for you to finish another 2 years of school to get your bachelor's. It really just depends on where you want to be working or not.
You also don't have to do the accelerated program like we did. You can just go straight into your 4-year undergrad at college.
Yeah, like WestCon actually has a great
WestCon's a
nursing
great
program. You can just do 4 years, and when you graduate, you could be done and be working as a nurse.
What is your work schedule like?
So in the 312s, we work 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts. Could do more from, like he said, Saturday to Saturday. So it's a good work-life balance. We have a lot of time to do other things.
For sure, the work-life balance is great. You know, it's not like a typical 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And every week is a little different. Like for this week, for example, we worked Sunday yesterday, and then we work Wednesday, Thursday. And then the following week, we work like Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. So it kind of depends on the week, but there is a lot of flexibility. You can also pick up a lot of overtime if you'd like. It's not a salary job, it's hourly. So you're not capped at how much you could really make in a year if you wanted to work extra.
What is the biggest challenge of your job?
There's a couple.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a couple.
I would say the patients present different challenges. Obviously, you have the medical component where you have patients that have different levels of how sick they are, and that can change and be a challenge for the day if you're trying to keep a patient stable. You also have the family of the patients that can present other challenges. You know, the caregiver burden for a lot of these patients and family is tough. You know, a lot of these patients and the family as a whole are in a very dark time and in a tough spot, so emotions are high. So it can be tough kind of navigating that.
It's also a lot of them don't understand like what's going on. Like
Right.
somebody's, husband is in the hospital and the wife's an accountant. She doesn't know anything that's related to anything healthcare. So when they come in and they're very stressed, they're very scared, it can be a challenge to kind of like help them understand what's going on and to ease their worries.
For sure. And then to piggyback off that, you also have challenges administratively within the hospital. Hospitals at the end of the day are also a business. So you kind of have to walk that fine line between, doing what you're supposed to do, but also kind of playing the game, so to speak, and, making the hospital happy.
We're also very busy. We can get extremely busy, especially around the holidays, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, wintertime when flu season's out, and so we can get very busy, and days can be very long, but overall it's good.
What is the most rewarding part of your job?
Definitely the most rewarding is when you do have the patients and the families that really thank you for your time and what you've done for them during a very dark time for them. Or they might write you a letter afterwards, or just showing a token of appreciation for what you've done for them. There is a lot of patients that, for better or for worse, it feels like it goes unnoticed, like it kind of like the effort you can put into them. So it's always nice when you have some that really appreciate.
Says thank you. Yeah.
Exactly.
It feels good when someone like recognizes your hard work and helping their family member get better. And I also love to see like people actually get better, like actually improve. When someone comes in and I see them for the first time and they're very sick, and then I see them a week later when I come back and they're so much better. It feels really good that like, we did that.
You played a part in that. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite patients or stories that you like that make you love nursing?
Definitely have a few.
Can't think of any.
I think it's always very delicate and rewarding when you take care of patients that are on hospice or end of life. So in these type of patients, we're not medically trying to treat anything. Usually these patients are at the end of their life, and your goal is to just comfortably transition them into a peaceful ending. So obviously that can be in a very emotional time for everyone involved, but it's very nice when you're able to like kind of like facilitate that and help that peaceful transition.
Yeah, there's something beautiful in helping people towards the end of their life. I personally love that. That's like I love hospice patients. I love helping the families. It's hard, but they look to you as like the professional to kind of guide them through this, and they're like, okay, like we've never done this. Obviously, you've seen this 100 times. Like, what do I do?
Right.
How am I supposed to feel? Like, what do I expect? And it feels really good to kind of be the one to help them through that.
What is your favorite part of your job?
Favorite part of my job? I do like interacting with a lot of the patients. I have met a lot of cool people over the years that were either just dealt a bad hand and something happened to them, or they were just sick, or whatever have you. I also love my coworkers and working with doctors and different professionals. It's nice to be surrounded by professionals that all like hold themselves to a certain standard. I think that helps facilitate the best out of yourself. It pushes you to want to be better. So ultimately, I think it's just collaborating with a variety of people, whether it be coworkers, patients, other hospital staff. I think that's probably like my favorite part.
I love my coworkers.
Yeah.
I think my coworkers they're a lot of fun. Like everything can be very serious, and like we have to do our job. We're taking care of people, but at the same time, like you have to laugh a little bit and just enjoy like being around your friends.
Yeah.
And you become your friends.
Middle school questions. If a middle school student was thinking about being a nurse when they grow up, what would you recommend, or what advice would you give them?
So I would say when you got into high school, I don't know exactly the age, but I would look into, do you know how old you could be to be like an EMT, or
16?
or
16,
even like I think in high school too, you
they
can
had
apply.
the CNA class.
Yeah, you could apply to be a CNA, so you could be like a patient tech, like assistant on the floor, and just kind of getting exposed to what it entails. I think it's very important before you decide you want to go into nursing school to either speak to some people that have been nurses, or try to shadow and get some experience inside of a hospital, or work as a patient tech, and just make sure that it's something that you can see yourself doing, because it's certainly not for everybody.
The high school does have a great class. It's, I think, about a year, you get certified, and it really shows you, I think even clinicals, I did that. It really shows you like what it's about and like what you have to do. So I highly recommend that.
Okay, what was middle school like for you?
Oh man. So I'm 28.
I'm
She's
29.
28, yeah.
We were actually,
When did we were in
we were
high
like
school?
kind of friends in middle school. Obviously, we're married now, so we were in the same cluster throughout our entire 3 years of middle school.
Yeah.
We had every single class together.
Yeah,
we
Jessica
weren't
and I started dating in high school.
Yeah.
But we've known each other like our
since
whole
middle
lives.
school, yeah.
And we didn't actually like each other in middle school, because I was kind of like immature.
He
you know.
was
I
also
was like
much shorter than me.
I was like a silly boy. I was pretty short.
He was like this tall. I was here. Yeah.
Typical kind of boy.
Yeah.
But the school itself hasn't really changed too much. There's some more
Yeah.
doors to get in.
A lot more doors. Yeah.
I remember
A little
carrying
more
my
confused,
books around
yeah.
everywhere and just kind of like.
I had a huge backpack. I was
Yeah.
very nervous my first day.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
But it was fun.
It was
I
fun.
definitely made
I
like,
really enjoyed like
Yeah.
my middle school and high school
I did too.
times.
What are your favorite middle school memories?
It's a tough question.
I'm getting kind of old to remember.
Actually, I remember. I think it was in Mr. Bettis's class. We had this project, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but I had to make like this like big pyramid and like all this like kind of crazy stuff, and my mom helped me out, and like I remember being like very involved and like very excited for that project. I also remember always like the gym classes. I was always
Yeah.
like to play sports, and there was always like little games and challenges, and in gym, lunch was always fun, and
Lunch was fun. A lot of my
kind of
friends
just like
that
plotting
I have,
with your friends in between classes.
Yeah.
Just
a lot of
being
my friends that I
kids.
have now, like we were friends in middle school. We were best friends in middle school, and they're still my
Yeah.
friends today.
Which is cool. I think it's
Yeah.
it's cool, and you find your group of people, and you try to continue those friendships. Like you can keep those
Yeah,
friendships
too.
for years to come. Like she
Yeah.
said, we still talk to a lot of my friends that I was with in middle school. So it's cool.
Okay, when you were in middle school, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I think I probably wanted to be like a soccer player or something.
Yeah,
Something
something
silly.
like not realistic
And
at
then I got
all,
older
like-
and realized like real life hits, and it's probably
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
I'm
but-
sure I wanted to be the president at some point.
Yeah.
That's
I do think I always wanted to be in healthcare, though. I'm not sure exactly what in healthcare, but I always just enjoyed kind of like medicine and the human body. And
I changed a couple times.
yeah,
What advice would you give to a middle school student today?
I would say just be open to all opportunities. Do your best in school. Try to learn as much from, I don't know, say learn as much from. Just try to like expose yourself to a lot of different things. Like don't stay one-minded or nearsighted on something that you like. I wanted to be a soccer player, but I was always open to like, oh, like this is what this is or this is. So just try to be open to a bunch of things, but also just have fun, and
Yeah.
enjoy your youth.
Work hard, but
Work hard.
do well in school, but have fun with your friends.
Right. Try to
You know,
like
try to hang out with your
cherish
friends
your
as much as you
friendships.
can, yeah.
Okay, this or that questions. Sophia, Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks?
Starbucks for
Starbucks.
sure.
Definitely
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Dunkin' Donuts has gone downhill. I can't even.
We go to Starbucks every week.
We've had a bad habit.
Bad
Nurses run
habit.
on caffeine for sure.
It's across
And
like the
there's-
building from us, so we're there every day.
There's a Starbucks like
yeah.
in the hospital, so there's a time we were going like twice a day, every day.
It was like $50 a week. It
Yeah,
was
it was
bad.
bad. So don't get addicted to coffee. for
Yeah.
sure.
Start way later.
Yeah.
Hot Cheetos or Takis?
What'd you say?
Hot Cheetos or Takis?
Ooh, I'd probably go hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
I love Cheetos.
A pool or a beach?
I'm a pool guy, for sure.
I love the beach.
Yeah. She
I can
loves
lay in the
beach.
sand all day, rolled around.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's.
I'll probably go Chick-fil-A.
I got
Although I do
Chick-fil-A
like McDonald's
once.
fries. So like the move is get a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A and then
Yeah.
get French fries from McDonald's.
Yeah.
See, she already knows.
That's a good idea.
What is your favorite restaurant?
So I'm a big steak guy. So I would say in Danbury, I love Black Angus. It's over by across from Walmart in Danbury.
I've been
I've
there.
seen it.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
so we go there, pretty frequently. We love that place. But there's a lot of good food around in this area. But I don't think you can go wrong with a good steak. So.
Yeah, Stanziato's is also very
Stanziato's
good.
is also fun.
It's up there.
It's more of like a pizza Italian place.
What are some of your favorite hobbies outside?
So we both love to go to the gym. We
Sounds
love
corny,
our,
but we love to go to the gym.
yeah,
we
love
like
the
to
gym.
exercise.
We love to travel. For a
Yeah.
lot of this year, we went to a different place every month. So we went to like Arizona, we went to Texas, we went to Chicago, went to a lot of different places. And then we love our cats. We have 3 cats. Kind of a cat lady. She would have more if she could. But
Love the animals.
Finally, can you let us know why you think people should consider nursing as a career?
I think if you genuinely enjoy like helping people, and you also enjoy like medicine and learning about a variety of diagnoses and treatment, I think it's a great area to get into. And the umbrella of what you can do with nursing is it's kind of endless. Like you can do a lot of different areas. You could work in a lot of different places, from being a school nurse to a nurse in the hospital. To a traveling
Research.
You can do research.
There's
You
a
can
lot
work
you
for
can
insurance
do.
companies. So there's a lot of different ways
Work
you
from
can go.
home, work in a hospital, work at a doctor's office.
Yeah,
It's a lot of different areas you can go into if you don't
For
like
sure.
one. I like them.
That concludes our discussion with Michael and Jessica DiResto. We truly appreciate you spending time with us today to tell us a little bit about yourself and your profession.
awesome. Thank you guys so
Yeah.
much for having
Thank
us.
you for
guys
having
did
us.
great.
Thank you for tuning into another great episode of Roger's Dad. See you next time.
Bye.
See you guys.